Okay. I can see Kat. I was just reading the chat room in case you guys are wondering what my face is staring at over here. I'm just seeing Richard and Jill and Kathy chatting there. Okay, so I'm glad I see Richard Abrams here because I know, Richard, you have one of our email questions. I think you're the first one up. So what I'm going to do, and Richard, if you want to speak to me live, you're welcome to do what just Tina did and press that request to speak button and jump in with me and we can talk about these questions. Or I'll just start answering them. And if you want, you can give me feedback in the chat room. That's fine too. But I'll just jump to the email questions straight away. So I'm going to, here we go. Okay, I've got this right. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. You know what? I'm going to change this because I've got the wrong view. Let's do it this way. Just give me 1 second, guys. I have to change my setup here so I can share my screen without killing the window I'm looking at. Okay, here we go. Now we got it. All right. Why is that not working? There we go. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing that because it's not changing the screen. I wonder if I've broken it. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to switch back. All right, guys. I don't think my screen sharing function, I think I might have broken it just then by changing my settings. So let me see. All right, I'm going to have to read it out, and we'll just have to run it that way. Because it's definitely not switching. You guys, I'm assuming right now you can't see the questions that I'm sharing with you, judging by Jeff saying nope. All right, well, I will read it out, and we'll just have to run it like that, and that's fine. You'll just have to watch me read it, guys. So here we go. Although I know we have one problem. I need to show you Richard's website. That's going to be problem. Let me try this. Okay, that's working. All right, we'll do it this way. Not quite the same as usual. That's what's thrown me, but that seems to be an option. So, okay, Richard asks. All right, so Richard asks, my about page, your valuable input. I understand now why you said get someone to do your website. As soon as I have enough funds, I will be doing just that. I've only added button links to my story, which gives prospects the complete success story to my landing page. I will add a welcome email. I was thinking of adding a pop-up link on my about page as shown on your success story. Not sure. If you click on the work with me page, I want to complete my story, offer them a free coaching consultation. I want to make it linear and keep them focused. I hope I make sense. This is exciting for me and challenging because I know I can earn a comfortable living from my blog. I have to appeal to the prospect's emotional response first. Okay, yes, I love that last sentence there, Richard. I have to appeal to the prospect's emotional response first. Bingo. So I'm just going to switch over to your about page, which I hope will... Of course, it's not going to switch tabs. I'm going to do this the manual way. Again, it seems to be... Let's just double check. No. Okay. It looks like we're working with Chrome tabs today. This is going to be a little slower, but we can do it. All right, so Richard's, this is your about page, and I was briefly looking at it before I started, Richard, just to get a feel for what you're doing. I like the progress you're making. So the first thing I want to say is great work. You've got the makings here of a great about page. I'm just going to go to your homepage quickly to give everyone a sense of where you're at with the overall design, which I think is not done yet. Obviously, you've got like the default homepage for that. So you've spent most of the time working on your about page. Now, I like this because very personal, sharing a story. You've got a work with me button. I'm not a fan of the read my story button right next to your story, but I'm assuming it's the design. Overall, good start. I obviously I want to see these case studies fleshed out because they're very important to kind of justify that you actually know what you're doing and you're worth hiring and you've helped people before. Other than that, though, good starting point. But I want to address your actual question, which was really about the Work With Me page. So you're asking, you want to complete your story and offer them a free coaching consultation. So this is your now again, for those watching, Richard hasn't actually finished this page. It's a work in progress. So let's not judge it the way it is now. But I want to give you the most important feedback, Richard, which I think is this page, the one that you've got, Work With Me. You need a headline. This is the most important thing. You need a headline at the very start that tells the visitor to this page what is in it for them. What are you helping them do? I know I'm not going to talk about what you've got there right now because I realize this just looks like somewhat of a copy of your about page. So you're just starting to fill it out. But what we need to see there is, are you tired of living with fear? And this is one of the things that might be a bit tricky because you've got a topic that's very broad, living without fear. I'd love for you to narrow that down and start talking about specific fears that you help people with. Like, is this the fear? I'm going to throw some things out there that may not be relevant. Is it a fear of public speaking? Is it a fear of going outside? Is it a fear of talking to people in public? Is it a fear of, there's all kinds of fears. So people have some OCDs, fear of having trouble getting to sleep. There's all kinds of different areas. Fear of going after what they really want in life. Fear of trying to get a better role in their career or their job, or fear of starting a business. Fear of dying. There's all kinds of things that you could potentially speak to. What would be helpful is to get a sense of who have you helped so far, and what did you help them deal with? What was their fear? And make it specific if possible. Now, and I say this a lot to people when they're just getting started, because at the start, it feels like you want to help everyone, no matter what kind of fear they have. And you feel like you're capable of doing that probably because, you've got some skills, some experience, and you could do it. But when it comes to marketing and in particular copywriting, you need to start with some specifics, because a person coming to your page is thinking very clearly, I currently have to do a live presentation at my workplace, and I am so afraid of getting up and doing a public presentation. I need someone to help me with that now. So if they came to your Work With Me page and the headline says something along the lines of, are you suffering from a paralyzing fear of public speaking? And in the first bullet point, do you need to do public presentations at work? Let me help you overcome this fear so you can advance in your career, get a better job or a higher role in your existing company, make more money, and live a more satisfying life. Now, if I had that specific fear and your copywriting spoke to me about my specific fear, I am so much more interested in working with you, Richard. Now, if your page talks about solving all kinds of fears, then it's less compelling to me. Now, that doesn't mean you have to decide to be a public speaking coach only. But what you need to do is make sure you've got some content on the page that speaks to the specific fears. I'm having trouble with the specific word today, that targets those specific fears. For example, your headline could be, are you struggling with paralyzing fear that is stopping you from living a fulfilling life? Now, that's a little too generic, but I realize that might be the best place for you to start. And then underneath that, you could say, I can help you with bullet point 1, public speaking fear. And then you talk a little bit about that. Bullet point 2, social anxieties, going to parties, socializing with friends, leaving the house, whatever level of fear you have. And just work your way down through some of the most common fears that you help people with, so they can see that you understand their need, their emotional situation, as you described it before. So that's the most important thing you need to start with on this page, Richard, and that would be the headline to begin with as well. So I know you want to continue your story, but remember, the Work With Me page is about them, not about you. It's about you demonstrating that you understand the problems that they came to you with, and they want to see that you know them and trust and understand their current situation, both emotionally and physically, and you're the right person for them to hire. So the more you can do to write words that speak to their problem, in this case, not as much about you, more about them, the better they're going to feel about hiring you. Now, I would also caution you about doing free coaching. I know you want to start building up your clientele, and a free consultation is a good way to get started. But I believe, especially in a space like what you're helping people with, your credibility will be very low if you're offering something for free. I think you need to jump into this with, I don't know your background, so I don't know, Richard, if you're actually very beginning with this, and maybe you haven't actually done any, helping people before. You've taken a course somewhere, and maybe, you spoke. I know you've got Jack Canfield on your homepage here, where you might have took some of his training. So I don't know if you've only taken training and you haven't done any coursework or practical work yet. Obviously, if that's the case, yeah, you need to do something to get some of those practical in-field experiences under your belt. But the sooner you can charge $100 an hour plus, the better quality client is going to come your way. Now, I don't know when that is right for you. It's all based on what level of experience you have. But I would almost say, the minute you feel like you've got a couple of case studies under you, put that on there. The reason why is you will get more people booking who are serious, who won't be wasting your time, because they see you as legitimate. And that needs to be something that you're constantly changing as well. $100 is not a serious price for a serious coach. It's a starting point. But this is something where I want to see you charge $250 a session, or $25,000 for 10 sessions or something like that. Sorry, $2,500, for 10 sessions, something like that, where you've got that package for sale. And that would, okay, so I can see now, Richard, you're legit. You've got 18 years of coaching experience. So no problem with you charging money from day one. Honestly, I don't think you should do any free consulting. Anyone that's coming up to you asking for free consulting, they're not going to be serious. They're potentially not going to show up. They're very unlikely to be, seeing you as legitimate. They're just not going to respect your time and your skill set. So you have to respect your experience by charging money from day one. That would be my feedback for you on that. I think very important. And your page needs to reflect that too. So you need to make sure the design and the presentation of this page reflects a person who's serious enough about their coaching business to justify, one day that $250 pricing point. So I'm okay with you saying it's $99 for the first 5 people. It's a special I'm running, just to get some things up and running. But if you've got 18 years experience, that's more experience than most coaches out there. So you probably should charge more than most coaches out there as well. So I would get this website really presenting well, so it looks professional, it looks trustworthy, and then charge $250 an hour, $200 an hour minimum, and put together a package for 10 for like $2,000 or something like that. Okay, Richard, I know you're still with me in the chat room, so I'm going to jump back here and ask, is there anything else I can answer regarding looking at your website? Because to be honest, right now, you really just need to, I'd say, hire Carrie or someone like that and just get this finished and polished, because you need to have that great first impression. Very important, especially for someone who's selling their personal time, because your website is a reflection of how professional you are. So, good design, good copy. It's going to take a bit of work. You need some solid success stories on there. I mean, I'd love to see video, ideally, get those little, even if just your mobile phone or a Zoom call that you record when you phone up one of your past clients, talk to them for a minute or two and just ask them, hey, what was the problem you had beforehand? What did you try and do to solve that problem that didn't work? Why did you choose to work with me? And what did you find, most valuable when we worked together? And lastly, how did your life change? It's just a compact way to produce a quick case study. It might be 1 minute up to 5 minutes long. Stick it on your webpage, stick it on your homepage, and just keep adding those and keep improving the quality. I mean, I'm sure you've seen on my site, we've got a couple of more professionally produced case studies. So I upped my game by spending a couple of $1,000s to get those produced. At some point in the future, you should do that as well to get some really solid case studies. And the more you do these things, the more your trust goes up. Therefore, when someone hits your webpage, it's like, okay, this person is serious. They're really ticking all the boxes. They've got a great web presence. They've got great copy. They've got great case studies. You've got a friendly picture there, which I do like. You've got the bullet points speaking to me about the problems that I have. I'm going to book to work with you. That's the kind of impression you need. Plus, of course, you need marketing, but we can save that conversation for the point when your website is really up and running and looking good. Okay, I think I've said enough, Richard. Hopefully I haven't overwhelmed you too much. Most important thing is just, case studies, fill out every section, really work on your headlines and being specific. That's the short version of my advice for you today. And I appreciate you working hard. Keep at it, Richard. And if you want to do a live coaching session next call, totally happy to do that as well. Okay, you're asking me to read Orla's success story if you have a minute. Sure. I'll just quickly share what I'm seeing so you guys can see. Okay. I think it's this one. Okay. Orla Abrahams, USA, CEO of Abrahams Industrial Minerals, Inc. 5 years on, and my mindset has completely changed. I truly believe that absolutely anything is possible. Letting go of the fear I'm feeling I'm not good enough or smart enough has diminished. Taking responsibility is the core value of the success principles. Richard is an amazing coach. He certainly knows how to encourage and bring out the best one, even if at times I did not believe in myself. This is one of my favorite quotes by Zig Ziglar, and there's the quote. Yeah, so, that's okay. Again, I'd love for her to be saying something like, I was in boardroom meetings and I had amazing things to contribute, but I was too afraid to stand up and present my amazing ideas. And then because I spoke to Richard, he took me through the success principles. I overcame that fear, and then I was able to really shine in those boardroom meetings. And in fact, I was able to take on a big project, something tangible, specific. This is a good testimonial. It's not a great testimonial because at the moment it's very general. She let go of fear, feeling not good enough or smart enough. If that was put into context, it would make it so much more powerful because it'd be like, she was not good enough to do what? She was not smart enough to do what? And then it shows a tangible change in her life. This is more like a general testimonial. It's the kind of testimonial you read over and say, oh, that's good. It seems like you helped her, but it didn't give me that sense of, oh, you helped her in this situation to reach this change in her life. And that makes me go, oh, I have that same situation. So I feel the sense of empathy with this person, and I want to be like them. So you're looking for that really specific connection. So the more specific you can be, the better. Same with your testimonials. Now, the challenge here, Richard, of course, is you've only got this small space, so you can't write a huge story there, and that's why video can become such a helpful tool with this. So at some point, doing those videos, or even just asking them to send in a video, send them 5 questions based on the 5 that I talked about earlier. Who are they? What was their problem? How did they try and solve it that did not work? Why did they choose to work with Richard? What did Richard help specifically, and what change were they able to experience as a result? You get someone to just answer those questions in a recorded video and they send it to you. It doesn't have to be amazing quality, just on a nice new, smart cam or a webcam, smartphone, sorry. And then you upload it, and that starts to make your testimonial be that more powerful as well. But it's a good start. I definitely want to congratulate you on that. She sounds like she's a CEO, so that's obviously a highly credible testimonial. So that's fantastic. Okay, fantastic. I can see all your comments in the chat room, so that's good to see, Richard. I'm glad that's getting through, and hope you find it helpful. Show us what you work on. So feel free, next coaching call we do, if you want to share with us how much this page has progressed. Or any time, of course, over the next upcoming months. Would love to see the progress you made. And I do highly recommend Carrie, or at least any kind of tech person, because it certainly speeds up the process. You want to be the one writing this information, collecting the testimonials, but you don't want to be the one doing the layout and the design and getting it to look nice. That's a hard job, and it's a slow job for a non-technical person. Okay. Thanks, Richard. Keep up the good work. We'll talk to you soon. I'm actually going to jump back to